My first guest is, of course, an Academy Award-winning actress whose latest project is the new movie Possession, which opens in select theaters this Friday. Please welcome Gwyneth Paltrow. Hi.
Hi.
You look fantastic.
Thank you very much.
You always look good.
Not really, but thanks.
And me.
Gorgeous, as ever.
No, you really do. You look like you've been in the sun. You've got
Yeah.
you've got a nice glow, a nice tan.
I know. I've been sunning a little. I've had the summer off, so I've been traveling and...
And you sit out in the sun?
I do a little bit. I know I'm not supposed to, but, you know, I put on sunscreen, and I don't try not to do it too much, but I just think you look better with the tan. You know, I think you look...
I don't. I mean,
do you tan, period?
no, I don't tan. I go from ghostly, ghostly white to bright red. And literally, it takes about 5 minutes, and I don't look sexy. I just look like I've been drinking a lot. So people are like, buddy, take it easy. But you can, I mean, I think that's one thing I envy. Anybody who can get that sort of cool color, I think it's great.
I know they say it's bad for you and everything, but then I think that there must be an evolutionary purpose because we look better tan. So,
right.
I mean, don't people look more attractive tan?
Yes, they do. So what you're saying is that like 1,000 years from now, people will be born looking like George Hamilton. Like, little tan, cool babies will goo, you know.
Oh, yeah, hopefully.
That'll look good. So what do you put on? What kind of stuff are we talking? Do you put on like 10, 5, 15?
No, I put on higher, like 25, 30, you know, 15 on my body, probably, and higher on my face.
I had the company make me a number 65 that actually shoots sun back up at the sky. Ships at sea, you're like, hey, it's Conan. You know, I have to ask you about something I just saw like 2 weeks ago. We were just discussing it. I was discussing it with the audience. It was a nice discussion. The Austin Powers movie, Goldmember.
Right.
And you're in the movie in this cameo, and you're kissing Tom Cruise.
I know.
And I'm wondering what that experience was like.
Awesome. It was great. It was really fun, you know. Mike is great, and he's a friend of mine, and he's so funny, and he asked me to do a cameo in the movie, and I thought I would love to. You know, I never get to wear a cat suit and have big hair and make out with Tom Cruise, for that matter.
The rest of us, yes.
But
once a week, but you never get
no.
to. What was he, did you ever hang out with him in like a social way, or was it just, because, you know, he's one of those people who's kind of, it's almost, he's such an, I guess, screen icon in action films and stuff that I don't think of him as being like a regular guy who goes to Arby's and gets
I know. Well, he's not, because he's Tom Cruise. But, yeah, I was actually friends with Penelope Cruz before they started dating, so I've seen him a couple times. I saw them in Paris once socially. We were all dancing together.
That's a cool picture.
Yeah,
the three of you, like, wearing berets in Paris, dancing.
Let's hope that it wasn't that, but yeah.
Now, what? Yeah, I didn't think you were dancing like that. But if you were, it would have been so cool. I mean, people must have freaked out when they see you and Tom Cruise and Penelope Cruz all dancing together on the floor. They just, like, rope off the place? And...
well, it was a very small place, and there weren't a lot of people in there, but had their... Well, there was one table of people there and one supermodel whose name I won't mention, but they actually got up and left, so...
The supermodel left?
She left.
Because she thought, like, this isn't cool enough for me?
Probably. I don't know. But, yeah, she got up and went into another room in a very sort of pointed way so that we all knew that she was leaving the room.
Come on, give us a name. That's why I never dated supermodels.
Yeah.
Seriously,
They can be bitchy like that.
People should make that decision for themselves, but that's the decision I made. You just lived in London. You're working on this film. You were doing a play which got rave reviews. You lived in London for about a year. Did you find yourself becoming sort of English in any particular way? Because I love the way they speak, and I thought, like, is that something where you pick up their weird slang and you start using it?
It is, because what happens is, I mean, I find in my cases, when I speak to my friends who are English and you say Americanisms, you find yourself repeating yourself, so you eventually start, you know, saying, like, why don't you come round mine and then we'll leave from there? And then you know, instead of, why don't you come over to my house and pick me up? And
they say, come round mine?
They say, come round to mine.
Right. And that's their...
So,
how dare you speak when I'm speaking? Let's try this again, all right? You raise your hand. No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you.
That sounded even a little English. Thank you. Thank you. But they have also, strange expressions that I don't even know where they come from. Like the way that they say phone numbers over there, I think is confusing.
It is very confusing. Like, they can't just say, you know, 00444, you know. They have to say, like, 0004. So you're sort of, like, lost. You're
They're just being jerks there.
That's my theory.
00444. We'll come around chitty chitty bang bang. All of my... Whenever I mean, we've talked about this, but every time I see you in a movie, you're doing like this very... you have this gift for it, but you have this very accurate British accent. And the British accent that I would do if some fool ever cast me in a movie would be Dick Van Dyke in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I'd be in like some very cool Merchant Ivory thing, and then I'd come in and go like, hello, governor. What's all this about then? You know, like, who is this clown? So you pick up that stuff and you start to use it here.
The problem is then you come home and all your friends think you're a real idiot, you know, because you're still using these British expressions. And
I think it's cool, myself.
I don't.
I don't either. I was just seeing if you thought it was cool, and you had the correct response.
I always feel really, like, pompous when I've said it by mistake or something, like, oh, I think I'm British now because I've you know what I mean? And my friends always, you know.
Doesn't Madonna have a British accent now? Doesn't she? I mean, it's not just me, but every now and then I'll see her being interviewed, and she's like, well, really? And I'm like, what happened? She's got like a monocle and...
Well, she lives there.
She lives there full time, so...
So, I don't know that... I don't hear it, it's British. I just think that it sounds less Midwestern than it used to.
Right. She's changing, subtly changing.
She is. You know how she is.
I know how she is. We're good friends. Don't laugh at that. I might have a big celebrity friend someday. Instead of Hasselhoff. My big celebrity friend.
Really?
Got Hasselhoff and Abe Vigoda as my posse. You've been doing, I read about you, you eat very healthy foods, like incredibly, is it macrobiotic?
Yeah.
And you do yoga.
Correct.
Yoga blows my mind. I've seen in the videos the things that people do in yoga, and I'm the least flexible person on the planet.
Right.
What's the most incredible thing, like yoga position, you can do?
Probably the one that looks the most impressive is, like, you put both legs behind your head.
Right.
And then you balance, you know, with your hands like this. So you're balancing just on your bottom with your legs behind your head and your hands in prayer. And then you...
I apologize for my audience. I wanted to have a classy discussion about yoga, and they've ruined it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I will never be the same in that pose again.
Yeah. That sounds insane. I mean, I would have to have surgery to do that. I would have to have the legs actually moved back there.
Yeah. And then you pick yourself up while the legs are still behind your head, and you jump back, and it's this whole... Yeah.
And then you join the circus. You know? That sounds insane.
Yeah. I mean, people, you know, it can look startling when...
You answer the door that way. You know?
Yeah.
Can I help you? You're just moving around the apartment.
Once my father came in when I was practicing that pose, and he said, and afterwards he's like, my God, he stood and watched me for a while do some, you know, And he's like, so, when I was finished, you know, he has a kind of a New York accent. He's like, so, can you get your head all the way up your ass now?
You can say ass.
I don't know.
Can you? Oh, I'm sorry. We should talk about Possession before we run out of time. This is a movie that you shot in, where did you shoot it?
We shot it all over England, a lot in London, and then in Yorkshire and Lincolnshire and up all over the place. It was really interesting to make. It was Neil LaBute wrote and directed it, you know, and he's really fantastic. And it's a romance, and it's about these two scholars who are sort of trying to uncover this mystery between these poets, and it's very sort of...
Who lived in, like, the 19th century?
Right.
And we have a clip here from it. That actually probably helps explain what's going on in the clip.
In the clip, so we're on this road trip up through the north of England trying to uncover this love affair between these two poets. And my character is very perplexed that she could be involved with this man who was the poet laureate because she was a lesbian living with a woman, and I'm sort of a feminist. And we go about trying to uncover this whole romance, and Aaron Eckhart plays the American professor, and we do things in very different styles because he's American and I'm, of course, British, as usual.
Well, let's take a look at this. We have this clip from Possession.
All right.
Take a look.
See if there's a cave behind it. That might be all the proof we need. I know this is an awfully repressed sort of English thing to say, but what the hell are you doing?
There's only one way to find out.
Of course, we could have just asked someone.
Where was that? Was that in the country? That was...
Yeah, that was up in Yorkshire somewhere.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Possession opens this Friday in select cities. We love it when you stop by.
Thank you for
Yeah, it
having
was great
me.
to see you again. Gwyneth Paltrow, everybody. Kevin Nealon coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.